Hi friends, it's Jana Eubank, and this week we are playing with cut files. I am using 2 of the November 2023 Hip Kit cut files. I am using the Pine Wreath and the Make It Merry title. Now I wanted to start out by cutting both of these from some white cardstock, and I'm going to sprinkle this Pine Wreath cut file with some ruby spritz from the color kit. My idea was to make it look like it was sprinkled with some red berries, and so while that dries, I'm going to move on over to the title and back those letters. Now, instead of cutting up a bunch of cardstocks, I decided to grab this color blocked 3x8 card from the Pocket Life kit and use the different colors on this card to back each of these letters. Another option would be to use the cover sheet for your cardstock. That way you're not cutting into your cardstock and you're making use of those pieces. Now, I wanted to mix in some blue, so I had a little scrap of this blue from one of the pattern papers from the main kit. So I'm just backing each one of these and outlining each of those letters, and then I'll go back and clean up the edges so that you don't see any of the overhanging cardstock. Now that that's done, I'm going to bring back in this wreath cut file, and I wanted to add some of the Skylight ink. This is also from the color kit, and it has this beautiful dark teal green look to it, like an evergreen look. So I'm just using a blending brush to apply this ink to the edges so that it looks like it's a snowy wreath with some berries, and then of course it's got that green color. So I'll just finish up adding some color to the inside of the wreath, and then I'm ready to start building my layout. Now, I did have a little bit of ink left over on my brush, and I decided to just add a little soft shadow using that leftover ink to the edge of the title, and then I also inked the edges with a dark gray ink just so that it would stand out against that white on white with the Pine Wreath file and also the title. So originally I was going to use the evergreen cardstock as my background, but once I had inked up that Pine Wreath, I decided to switch on over to the craft texture cardstock. I love the neutral color that it adds, or that it has, and then that will really help all the colors in my title and then all the embellishments that I'm going to add to pop against that neutral background. I have 2 pictures here that I'm working with. These are my kids on Christmas morning, just in their pajamas. I'm sure they're terrified that I'm adding these to a page online. You know, they're to that age where they're like, really, Mom, why do you have to add this? But hopefully I've conditioned them enough that they don't mind too much. So I've matted both of these photos with the candy cane red cardstock, and I'm just going to offset them from one another, and I'm using a ruler here just to make sure that they're straight. So I'm going to pop up the title above the 2 photos, and there's a little space there in that wreath that fits nicely in. And now I'm ready to start accenting this. I've added the foam tape, but I've only adhered it in the center. That way I can tuck some things underneath. And then once I've decided what to do, I can go back and peel all those backing papers off of the foam stickers and then just make sure everything's right. So I'm grabbing some stickers from the sticker book. This is from the embellishment kit, and it has these really pretty little sticker sheet with all of these different florals on it. And I'm going to tuck a holly leaf in the upper left corner, and then that poinsettia cluster there in the bottom right. Now I'm going to bring in some of the chipboard button stickers, also from the embellishment kit, and I thought I would add these all around the wreath. I really liked the idea of adding ornaments or something to decorate this, but I didn't know what I would have enough of from the kit. And thank heavens I have these gorgeous chipboard buttons. That way I have enough to go all the way around the edge. So I'm just using all the red, the mint, the blue, the teal, all the ones that match the colors that I used in the title. And this is another great reason why I use that craft texture cardstock, is just because the center of the page will have so much color with these chipboard buttons and that colorful title that all of this will really be highlighted because of that craft colored textured cardstock in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and get these in place. I did use some liquid glue to attach those just to make sure they don't move around. I am going to bring in a few more of these stickers. These are the ornament stickers from the same sticker book of the embellishment kit, and there's just 3 tinier ones on this sheet here, and I'm just going to add those in a visual triangle around the title, and then I'm going to bring in, I think, a couple more little leaf branches around there, and then I also bring in a leaf border sticker that will underline that title in just a minute. So I believe I have a little title here or a phrase that I'm going to add in that space above the photo just to fill that in, but I will grab, there it is, the border sticker just to underline that title, kind of bring some greenery towards the center of the page, and then I'll replace that white phrase sticker. So now that I have everything how I want want it. I'm going to pop things up with some foam dots. Oh yeah, I did add one more layered sticker. This is from the main kit that just kind of decorated that bottom right corner and just bookended this layout so nicely. So now that I have everything arranged how I would like it, I'm going to bring in some texture and some softness with this thin crochet twine. So I've tied 3 little bows from this twine and I'm just attaching them to the top of each of those ornaments. And now I brought out a foam pad and I'm going to pierce some holes in each of these chipboard buttons. I will then thread and needle with that same thin white crochet twine and add that to each of the buttons. Some of them I'm going to tie a bow and some of them I'm just going to tie a knot. And I really like the little fringy effect that all of these buttons have, and it's just a really fun texture all the way around. Now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the date stamp from the January Pocket Life Kit. There is actually a couple of these left, but there's this fantastic date stamp that was in this kit, and I've used it all year long, and I'm just going to stamp that date right there in the bottom right corner. So earlier this month and later next week, I've been sharing some pocket pages that I created using the November kits. This is kind of the grand finale of that spread where I'm going to end the Christmas season with this page of my kids wearing their pajamas on Christmas morning. So I hoped you liked seeing this cut file page come together. It was really easy, really simple with just a few basic supplies. I added in some color on the wreath and then just backed things with the Pocket Life card and then embellished. It was a lot of fun. I hope it gave you a lot of great ideas for a layout for you to create this Christmas season. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Jana Eubank for Hip Kit Club. We'll see you again soon.